what we can do, we'll take 5 more minutes for everyone to fill in, and then we'll start, okay?
You're doing 5 more minutes for Sloth. You know that.
He's here. He's here.
Where the fuck is he?
He's right down there.
Boy!
Oh.
Boy.
Hi, bud.
Hey. Hello, child.
I'm so happy Gordita's here. Did you guys see that picture of Penny with the really fat ass? It was the TikTok? Or the fucking, GIF?
What are you talking about?
Bro, yesterday.
What
Yesterday.
is going on
No.
now?
Yesterday, Penny said that she eats Wendy's because it fuels her sass. I misheard it and decided that it fuels her ass. And so, since she's Latina, I decided that her ass is like a shelf. You know, one of those ones that, like, if she walks by, you can set a cup on it and it'll get to the kitchen.
Like in Winnie the Pooh? Is that what you're trying to go? It's like Piglet?
Like 2 ripe watermelons.
No, like 2 like IKEA shelves.
Okay.
I'm so lost.
Abuelita. Mi corazón. Learn like 4 Spanish words.
Are we missing a Chris?
He will
Who?
pop in and out.
Who is that?
He's currently at work right now.
Who? What is his name?
Wow, who the fuck works even?
I don't remember him. Is this guy in the Botch pit?
Who? Oh, that's really good.
He just responded to the chat too. That's fucking hilarious.
Which chat?
The one with his picture.
Do you know why he responded?
Because I put
His
a fucking
His
horrible
ears
picture.
were burning.
I put a horrible picture of him in said chat.
You guys should send him pictures of the Christopher Dyer sex toy.
Isn't that just a fucking silicone fist?
It's no.
It's something so much more.
Oh my god. I hate. What the fuck does Americans measure stuff in? Ounces?
Feet.
Depends on what you're trying to measure.
I just totally over-caffeinated
there he is!
myself. Look, a cock!
Oh shit. Mage Man has returned from getting smoked.
Where is he? Oh, there he
He's
is.
at
I
work
see
right
him.
now.
All right, 2 more minutes, everyone. 2-minute warning.
Oh, we haven't started yet, thank God.
I mean, would it have really changed the content if we were recording?
She's probably.
We
I
are
don't know.
recording.
She's
I just don't
an
tell you guys.
asshole
Yeah, okay.
right now.
It's just the time up for cutting it. Okay, I'm gonna go grab water real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh my god, we do everything for you. You want me to drink water?
That's oh my god. Dyer, unmute yourself, you cuck. I don't give a shit if you're working.
He's at work with small children.
I don't give a fuck.
This is the nicest man ever. We just beat him up all the time.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna beat him up if he doesn't unmute himself.
Dyer, why are you helping kids in a hospital?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
There
me?
he is.
Oh my god, why are you in a hospital, Dyer?
It takes
I
all you
put him there.
motherfuckers to bully me. It takes all of you.
Clap
All
your
right,
hands,
everyone.
Get started.
All right, I'm gonna clap. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. How's
Buenos
everyone doing
nachos.
today?
Life sucks!
I heard tacos.
Yeah,
Tacos?
I don't know. I don't even like
Taco Bell.
Yes, child.
Yes, child. Yes. So, first order of business, buy Slothcoin.
My sauce one.
Stop going.
No,
Basically, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. This is our second Botch Talk, which, if you were participating in the first one, basically this is kind of our community outreach discussion. Fireside chat to talk about the stuff that we've done and what we're looking to do in the future. Yeah, that's just kind of what the basis of this is, and also, it's on, for people that will be listening to this after the fact, this is on our Discord channel, which is free to join. It's in all of our links and descriptions. And yeah, we have an awesome community here, and we're joined by a whole bunch of people today. So I'm Nick, and I'm joined here by Lenny,
Hi.
Jura,
What's up, peoples?
and Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi.
Oh, he actually responded.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna mute myself. I'm working.
Father has graced us.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of an adult. Loosely.
$3
You just love the attention, you whore. That's all you want is the attention, you slutty slut.
I love it.
Like we're all like, "Hello, guys. Hello, everyone." And Chris is like, "For $3.09 a minute, I'll call you and tell you how much better than you I am."
No. It's a rough economy. I won't hit him for the 9 cents.
You've already created one paradox this week. We don't need another.
We were talking about the tree in your yard.
You
That's
suck.
what we were talking about.
So, Chris, you want to tell us something or no?
Give me that attention, but not the watch list kind of attention I think I just got.
Chris, I just wanted to remind you real quick before you have to mute yourself again. 2 months.
Oh god, it's gonna hurt so bad.
Your supplements will be there tomorrow. You should start taking them as soon as possible.
I'll be there too.
Oh yeah, you will. I forgot about that.
Hello.
Hello.
Sloth.
Hello, child.
Dyer, just to let you know, I've been put in charge of
Are
making
we
sure.
meeting Sloth?
I'm gonna try and like maybe pick them up from the airport
Bomb.
for my honeymoon. Yeah.
Dyer,
I'm here to officiate.
We're gonna have a botch pit wedding ceremony.
So basically, everything's gonna be lit on fire, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, so welcome to Botch Talk. So I guess let's start by talking about some of the past projects that we've recently come out with. I figured that's probably a good way to start it. So the first is the Beginner's Guide to Genesis Rebirth Edition. We did an overview, and it was incredibly successful. So, Jura, do you want to talk a little bit in regards to that?
So it was an incredibly painstaking process. I went to Six More Vodka essentially, and asked permission. They gave it to us. Got their final okay on it after everything was done. I've been playing the Genesis since the first edition many years ago, and then when it got remade, I was super pumped about it. And I remember approaching Chris, Lenny, and Nick about it, and I'm like, look at the art on this. I think it was actually like one of the pages that had tits on it or something. That's like, guys, look at this fucking art. And Nick was like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And we just kind of fell into wanting to read more about it. And then it was, there's nothing wrong with the content. The books are great. The universe is great. Everything about it's good. But my fucking God, how much work. Like, Chris works a lot. So we can start with that. I also work
That's
a lot.
Everybody saying Chris works a lot. Chris worked on the script, and that's it. That's what he's saying.
No, I was going to be much nicer, you chode.
I won't. He's a cuck. Fuck him.
I was like, well, fuck you, Lenny. You did like one picture. One fucking picture. Yeah, you did one picture. Listen, okay. You want to get down to the brass tacks, motherfucker? I was leaving for Pennsylvania in 3 days. I hadn't slept at all. Chris is like, I'm gonna get to work on it when I have a chance. I'm like, oh no. And I fucking wrote through, like, I read through his script and I tried to add as much as I could. And like before I left, and I was like, okay, it's gonna take all 3 of us to write the script. I can do this.
And for the record, you did an excellent job. For the record, you did an excellent job.
I know, I'm Jura, but thank you.
He sounds like me.
You and Nick have been hanging out way too much.
I had to. It was so nuts because like I had 9 houses to look at the next day. The next fucking day. And Pennsylvania is 14 hours and 9 minutes away. And I was like, okay, Nick, I can't even look at the screen anymore. I got like through like Decepsis or Psychonauts or something. And you take it from here, man. And okay, cool. I'm like, Chris has got to edit it, and then Nick's got to record it. And I was like, go to bed for 4 hours. I'm gonna get up and drive to Pennsylvania. Nick gets a fucking phone call from me like 20 minutes later. And I'm like, I'm on the road. I can't stop. This is backcountry. I'm straight to Pennsylvania. And he's like, Jura, don't wreck. I'm like, don't tell me how to live my life. And then I got home and it was Nick's turn because Nick was like, I'm fucking dying. I can't keep up with the demand for this. And I'm like, Chris, can you help? He's like, yeah, I'm going to edit it. You know, get through the first rendition. Then Nick had to fucking record everything in a weekend. And then the real hard shit began. And none of us, Nick said it fucking 6 weeks before we started doing it. Nick was like, guys, this is going to be really difficult. And every fucking one of us, myself included, was like, yeah, this is fine. We got it. We'll just work together and knock it out in like a week. I hate myself for that. I bought an $1,800 Mac. Lynn bought a fucking $1,800 Mac. Like all the Adobe suites. Like spent like $5,000 to make a fucking video. Ugh. Go ahead. How do you guys feel about it, Nick, Letty, Chris?
I think it came
It
out
came out
fantastic.
It looks really good.
Wow, way to stop all that in there, Dyer.
Yeah.
No, I honestly think it actually was. And for the record, Jura, I did 2. I didn't do 1, I did 2.
We used one of yours.
No, there was 2.
I redid one of them.
Yeah, we didn't want to tell you. We didn't want to hurt your feelings.
That is the most savage thing.
I fucking love it. I'm not even mad. That's hilarious.
Like he did it and he turned it in, and Nick called me and he's like, Jura. And I was like, what, buddy? He's like, look at this. Letty did this one, Jura. And I was like, oh.
No, but honestly, I really enjoyed the video. I mean, the production value was great. I mean, you and Nick both fucking just crushed it.
Lynn.
Yeah,
Lynn.
And Lynn. My apologies. No,
For
three
Lynn,
of you.
Lynn, Nick and I did a lot of work. That's true. I mean, Chris did a lot of editing. You did 2 pictures, and we're very proud of it. We hung one of them on the fridge. But Lynn, just woke up one day, and she was like, yeah, let's just go buy a Mac, and I'll, try and help out. And I'm like, cool, great. That sounds cool. And she sat down, and it's like, this fucking woman has been doing Adobe for her entire life. I'm like, what in the actual fuck just happened? I didn't know what to do with myself. Apparently she's got a bunch of hidden talents that nobody knew about with Adobe. Chris, she can do Adobe. You're supposed to give her images for your mage videos. Anyway, yeah. Nick, why don't you shed some light on how fucking crazy that was?
Yeah, so let me tell you what went through Nick's mind. So first, before I begin, I just wanted to take the time to formally thank, Jura and Lynn for their impeccable effort towards getting this project done, because this is not an easy project. For those of you that have seen it, it's one unlike any other video we've ever done up until this point in time. It is not just using imagery, but the way that imagery is used. And, it's not just about, it's one of those things where when people say slideshow, it's one of those connotations that tend to be like, oh, what are we going to watch? Like something in school that's like this. It's like, no, they can be the most intricate thing you could ever imagine. And with that project, the art spoke for itself. It's absolutely gorgeous. The art in Degenesis is top-notch. And it made our jobs so much more, I don't know what the term would be to use for this, but
painful.
It made it so, not painful. It's, you could tell what the images needed. Like, you could see what exactly was going on in each image and how you could enhance it. So, not just with, overlays like we did on this video, which is something that, in my professional career that sometimes we use for stuff like this. But also, if you noticed a lot of those 2D, all images are 2D, those flat images, they moved. So we were using
Don't you
I
dare
wanna
give it away.
say-
Nope, don't you dare.
I'm not giving it away, but I'm gonna say what it
Give it
did. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
go
gonna say
ahead.
what it does.
So what it does is it takes a 2D image and maps it to a 3D plane, so it looks as though it basically makes a 3D model out of a 2D image. It's used by stuff like, and NASA's used it, and like every major news station. It's really, really advanced. And basically, I came to Jura and Lynn, and I was like, "This is what we need to do." And I remember Jura just kind of like. It was on the phone. It was a long pause. He's like, "What do you need us to do?" So what I did is I recorded a tutorial for them explaining the whole thing. And I think even just the tutorial, I think, what was it, like an hour, Jura? Hour and
Yeah,
15
43 minutes. 43 minutes.
yeah, and it was like, it's a super intricate process, and Jura and Lynn just killed it. They did an amazing job. Because again, if you think about it, for every image, it's about 10-15 seconds for 30 minutes. So not every image had that 2D 3D mapping, but it's one of those things where this project really shed light on the Botch Pit's technical and educational capability and our increase in it. So it was a very good project for us. Do you have any final words on it, Jura?
I can't wait for that Justinian book to come out. Hint, wink, Liam, nudge.
Same.
I'm excited to do more with it. We'll get into what else we're doing with it here later on in the talk. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. So, but the atmosphere and the game itself really lends itself for some of the content that we're going to be putting out here in the next XYZ time frame space units. So, thank God it's good, because I'd fucking hate it if it was Mage.
All right. Do you want to go into the next topic, the next project?
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. Because we're not done talking about the Genesis. We're gonna circle back on it later.
This
But the
is
next
crap,
one-
Mage. Don't think I didn't hear you.
Shut up, Chris.
It's his trigger word. He just comes out whenever you say it.
It's how you summon me.
The next one was it was basically making the best out of a bad situation. Was the Botch Pit live stream session, Slighted.
Chronicles of Darkness Zoo campaign.
Yeah, so it
which
happens
was
in
great.
Honest Path takes your time spot because they like it.
Well, Chris, since you said that, why don't you explain what the bad situation was?
Let me go up before in an elevator.
Oh, convenient. A convenient elevator. Quite Mage. Okay. So... Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you were waiting to
hold
give your
on.
PR
The elevator's
response.
ended. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll make it quick. Long story short, we had a time frame set for the Honest Path virtual convention, and decided he liked it, so he took it, and we decided to hold a live stream anyway that got more attention. The end.
Yeah, your supplements will be in tomorrow. You should start taking them immediately. 2 months.
So, I want to make a comment about so basically what I want to talk about this is basically not so much dwelling on what was bad about it, but another learning experience from us is for my occupation, live streaming is actually something that I do, and it is depending on the level that you do it. Like people think of live streaming, and the first thing they think about are these YouTube streamers that think they know their stuff, and that's not really what it is. I mean, I've been kind of involved with live streaming for years now, where like I used to do beta builds of stuff that hasn't even come out yet to accomplish this stuff. But basically, in my entire
humble
career,
brags.
yeah,
I have
Chris.
I could tell what microphone you recorded with on your recording just by listening to it.
Don't even dare cross this line.
I'll do it. You know I will. I have no remorse.
Where did it come from, though? It came... Where is it? It came from... Oh, man.
Came from the trash. But but no. So when it comes to live streaming,
the delay just kills me. When it comes to live streaming, it's something very important, to me. But in all my, creative endeavors, I have yet to find a venue that has the internet capabilities as Lenny's house. I mean, I've been in the craziest things in New York. I've been in some of the biggest amphitheaters around, for concerts and stuff. But Lenny's house has the best internet connection for upload speed, because that's what you need to live stream, I have ever seen. To the point where even today, I mentioned to him, Lenny, could you just run a speed test for me? And I showed it to one of my coworkers, and he just literally spit up his drink. He's like, that guy is in Abington. I'm like, yeah, it's nuts. Just 2 towns over, where I'm getting barely anything over here.
Dogs.
What?
Thank God for Fios.
But Lenny's house is the most impeccable thing ever. I guess from that experience, Lenny, what did you learn from live streaming? Because you were there setting it up with me the entire time.
Yeah, I actually drove to your house to pick some of that shit up, so we only had to take one trip. Honestly, no, I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'd definitely do it again in the future when it's less, when we have everything figured out more, so it's less stress on you. I have to say the best part of that entire experience is having Jura's face on a giant monitor just sitting next to us.
TV Jura.
I was really thankful that you got me a glass of water.
I was gonna say that too. I mean, I take care of my guests
and set it next to the TV.
Yeah, it was weird. It was the weirdest thing too. I never got drunk.
I wasn't thirsty.
Well, it's the thought that counts, I assume. But no, honestly, I had a lot of fun. I want to give Dyer crap for kind of putting me on the spot before we start the game, but I guess I kind of had that coming. But even then, I had fun with the character. I mean, the entire game was fun. It's funny too, because you can tell it was derived from Cabin in the Woods, and I literally just watched that movie 2 weeks prior to the event. So I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I would hands down do it again in a second. So
good.
Yeah, I guess.
I killed
taking
more
that
people than Nick.
Sometimes. No, the thing is I guess before I say what I'm going to say, I want to hear from you all. Feedback on live streams in general. What do you like about them, or what don't you like about them? And feel free to talk in, and then 2 people talk at a time. Will help mitigate it.
The interactivity, getting to chat while you're streaming is cool. As someone who's been dabbling in streaming for a little while, when you get the ball rolling and you get a good chat going, it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. The in real time response is you don't really get that experience unless you go through some other venues. But yeah, totally see that. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I want to add to that. I want to say that it really does add to the sense of community as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely right. And we played off you guys too. The more you guys submitted kill ideas and stuff, the more we tried to act them out.
It was fun having all our chat of what was going to happen about it too.
Yeah, we we heard about that. I think it was Lynn running that. I believe it was Lynn on ground floor of that, right, Jura?
Yeah,
I think it was a whole bunch of other people too.
Yeah, Lynn was the PR for that.
I have 2 seconds to add in before I'm in a room. The cool part about the live stream was the interactivity. It was really cool being able to storytell and adapt and improvise based on what everybody's ideas were. It definitely felt like I was less running the game and more almost like a host for a game show, like Lenny's character was. It was a blast. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I just enjoy all of us getting to talk together and whatnot. I consider you all to be at least somewhat my friends, and I enjoy getting to talk to you guys.
Aw, Blood.
Aw.
I'm your best friend.
No, that
Sure is everyone's friend.
I don't. Actually
Blood, you're
know.
legit, dude. Don't worry, we love you. You're good. You're like our mascot. You and Sloth.
I'm going
Yeah.
to corrupt you so hard, little boy. I will bring you
I
to.
don't think I'd be the master of the pit. I think I'm closer to that one character that is just kind of there. Like, he had one major arc in the show, and then he just stuck with the team for no particular reason. He's always there, kind of being helpful, but never really playing a big role either way.
Fucking Liam. Does anyone
I just started reading that too.
fucking Liam? Liam, fuck you. You can watch it. You can literally go back and watch it.
Yeah, but then it'll be like a non-live one.
A non-live one. Yeah, so I guess you guys all hit like the points that you know what is good about live streaming. There's also a lot of pitfalls and a lot of things that are bad. And like they
A lot of botch pitfalls.
Get the fuck
a
out.
lot.
Chris, that was bad by my standards. Let that be known.
You have no standards.
I know.
He's right though.
Like to do that live stream, Lenny. How many hours did we spend just in setup?
Let's see. You came over. What time was the live stream? Like 7, I think it was.
7.
And you came over around 11.
Yeah, and that was just setup.
Yeah, I think we were done by like 4.
Yeah.
And even then, we were still having some technical issues.
When it comes to live streaming, you always get that. You never know what exactly to expect.
What? Technical issues on live streaming? What are you talking about?
I can't tell if he's being facetious or not. Is he?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes, he is.
All right,
Yes,
thank
he
you.
is.
Sorry.
Okay.
100% sarcastic.
I was like, right? Yeah. You don't have any issues? Jesus.
So, I guess the end result is what I kind of, everyone has said, is that we will be doing additional live streams in the future. That's a definite. But like, just because of the volatility of what a live stream is, even at my, place of occupation, we always say that, does it really need to be live streamed? And there's certain things that will be, like special events and stuff like that. But also, consider that not everything is going to be live streamed. Yeah, cool. So then does anyone have any other things they'd like to add to this before we go on?
I'm gonna go to Liam's house and force him to watch that live stream now.
Okay, so let's move on. So the last one, just wrapping it up, the Assorted Chronicles videos that have gone up. And I see that Chris edited
What I wrote in the thing originally.
Wait, hold up. I didn't edit anything.
Did someone edit it?
Oh no, it's still here.
Yeah.
So Chris, do you want to talk about your three mage videos?
It depends on which aspect. Obviously, I'm doing an all-encompassing guide to magic for Mage: The Awakening 2nd Edition. Each guide going about 10 to 15 minutes. And Nick's length of his last video is still double all of those added together. But he doesn't get half the views or likes either, so Changeling sucks. Point proven.
That's because your viewers are simpletons, and 10 minutes is all they can hear.
Hey, where's the Promethean guy, Jura?
I will make a 5-minute Promethean guide that will blow any mage guide out of the water.
Prove
I'll
it.
make a 5-minute and 1-second one.
It'll be 5 minutes about Quicksilver, and that's it.
It'll be 5 minutes because that's all you know about Promethean.
Oh, that's a lie.
When do you get off work so I can tell your wife when you're dead?
Jura has the logo tattooed.
That is the most nervous chuckle I've ever heard from that man, and I've known him a decade or more.
I'm in danger.
I, much like diarrhea, am quick and responsive.
He will end me, but it'll be a funny end.
Not during.
So in addition to those guys, I know We mentioned the changeling and mage. There's been a hunter one, a werewolf one, geist, etc. But Jura, you mentioned something earlier in regards to artwork.
Oh, artwork. Yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Oh, yeah. So
you did.
We actually have the permission to start using Chronicles of Darkness art for our videos. And what's interesting is we've had this ability for about 2 weeks now. Chris fully knew it and refused to give us any artwork to use in his goddamn videos.
Chris has no time. Chris is sorry.
So that was that's a pretty big reveal. But I think someone in the chat, I think Gaz, why don't you say your question out loud?
All right. When will the Hunter videos resume? Because we
Okay.
haven't had one in a long while now.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
When are Hunter gonna resume?
When's Hunter gonna resume?
Oh, it's dead in the water, buddy.
Soon, I guess. Soon's the best answer for
Don't
that.
you
Well, I
need
mean,
Brad for that?
what?
Don't you guys need Brad for that? Wasn't he a character in it?
Oh, do you mean
Chris
the
is
guy?
misunderstanding what you meant. Yeah, they mean the live play.
Oh,
Or
the
game
live
session,
play.
sorry.
Oh,
Not the
no,
guides?
no, I meant the guides.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Gaz meant the guide. Someone else said what I think they meant was the gameplay.
Okay. Well, I'll first talk about the guides, and then we'll move over to Chris for gameplay. I think is he still here?
Maybe.
He peaced for a second. It's okay. I think I pretty much know the answer to that too. So when it comes to the hunter guides, with the changeover to 2E, that and what they have written based on it, basically what's happening, I'm not sure if you all are aware, but they're removing a lot of things. Just like they do with every 2E line, they remove a great deal. And actually a lot of the hunter compacts and conspiracies are taking a major hit. So I'm trying it to, right now, because of the volatility of it, basically because of all the changes that would happen, any work I do with any mainline hunter compacts and conspiracies, which is what that whole series is about, is going to be affected. So basically that sends me to these outshoot ones, like from Witchfinders and Night Stalkers and the werewolf one, that basically have it in there, as well as Mortal Remains and stuff like that. But basically, they're gonna eliminate a ton of that. So it's like, when I do it, it's like, which one do you pick? You know? So that's where I kind of am with that. So I've been giving it a little bit of a rest or a little bit of a break till you hear a little bit more of it. But that's what's currently happening with Hunter. Just because of the change of editions and everything, and I'm kind of sad that they're eliminating a lot of things, but so would be. And then, was there a question in regards to the play session? Is that what was happening?
Oh, I think I just misunderstood.
Oh, okay. Lenny, do you want to say what's happening to the play session? Why we can't do it?
No, I'll let you do it.
Okay. It's in flux because players we had in it, we haven't seen them in a little bit. I guess I'll leave it like that.
Players with mug shots. Players with active mug shot.
That's okay. That's okay. Jura, yours is going up. Yours is going up once the new video goes out.
Oh wait, the one
Jura's
you
mugshot?
sent today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
We'll get to that.
I started listening to that today.
Awesome. So basically, I guess this brings us to current projects. And again, if I missed any questions, definitely just like start talking. Well, don't start talking, but you know what I mean. Like if I missed it, we'll ask for the Q&A at the end. You can ask your questions there. But basically, so what happens in the Botch Pit is every time we have a major project coming out, what happens is whoever mixes it sends it out to the pit, everyone reviews it, everyone else listens to it, we get feedback, we redo it. So that's what Lenny was kind of alluding to today, because I finished just doing a little bit of edits. But Jura, I want you to talk about this project.
Which one?
The one I sent today.
Right. So Nick's getting a sex change, and so one of the things that I was really adamant about when I brought the Genesis to the table for the group was that they had to play it, and that was really important to me, is that they had to play it. And it turns out that we sat down, Lynn, Lenny, and myself sat down, and we did a session 0. And what's going to happen is they're going to have a session 0, and then Chris is going to have a session 0, and Nick is going to have a session 0. And Lynn's not. I was going to go over the characters like that were made and how they how it's like planned to interact, but like Lynn's not here, so Lynn made a character named Judge Jessica Freeze, and she's a judge in a city called Bastion that's got some weird shit going on in it right now. And she is under Lenny's character, who is her mentor for in becoming a full-blown judge. Lenny, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, so the character I actually am playing, I actually changed his name, my nickname in Discord too. His name is Judge Draven. I believe it's Judge Thomas Draven. Basically, I took a lot of inspiration from Frank Castle. So pretty much, he is unpredictable, but he is very, very methodical. He is somewhat an agent of chaos, but at the same time, he follows the codex somewhat. But I mean, at the end of the day, he still gets results, and you know, he's seen a lot of shit in his time, but he has also been the reason that shit kicked off to begin with. So we had a lot of fun that night. I'm really excited to keep going with the Genesis. I had a blast with the mechanics. Dire, fuck you.
What did he say?
He said Apocalypse sucks. I don't know why, but just fuck him.
The most Lenny response ever.
But no, oh god, that was such a fun play session. And it's funny too, because I normally hate playing over Discord, but Jura, that was a really, really fun game to play. And Lynn's character, I'm like, oh god, I was thinking to myself, how quickly can I get this character killed? And at the end of the day, she grew on me. I couldn't help but love her by the end. So I'm excited for you guys to hear it. It was a lot of fun. I really want to see what you have planned.
I've got a lot planned, actually.
I know you have a lot planned, so I'm excited. It'll be a good time.
We have Nick's play session, which is actually happening tomorrow, and Nick will be playing a Paler, which I don't want to reveal too much of it because he hasn't played yet. Chris has a thank you, Liam. Chris has a play session coming up if he ever stops working penitentiary prostate exams. And he's going to be playing the Chronicler, surprise, surprise. And then after those are all done, we're going to have them all meet up together. And that's going to be where the real fuckery begins. Because when you have two judges, a Paler and a Chronicler in a group, the only thing you can add is Nick's brother to be a Helvetic. And then it's going to be great.
J-Mo.
Show me what you got. Yeah, it's a good project. I'm a little bit. I don't have a specific game that I like. I only play this game. If there's a new game coming out, like specifically the Genesis, if there's a lot of time and effort and love put into it and it doesn't feel rushed, I will always run that game. So I'm really excited to work on it more. It's been a pain in the ass because after I recorded it all and I was really happy and I was like, this is my baby, and I worked really hard on it, and I did like sound effects shit, synced up the music, and I was like, okay, Nick, take a look at it and tell me what you think. And like Nick like said it was horrible and I had to redo it all.
I didn't say it like that. It's like, you know when Gordon Ramsay talks to kids? It was kind of like that, but not really. No, but I wanted, the reason why I bring this up, Jura, is this is your first time for the Botch Pit recording it as an engineer. You did all of it.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to ask you I have a couple questions in regards to all this, but I just wanted to first ask you, what did you find when you did this? What were some of the challenges and successes you found?
Challenges. So let's talk about successes, really. I spend a lot of time every day actually practicing for voice acting. I do it on the side here and there. It's one of my hobbies. I am obsessed with like 10 to 15 minute short stories where I get to act out characters. I've applied for like 50 fucking voice acting jobs in the past year. So I'm always coming up with characters and carry around like a notebook and like write down like what they would sound like and their mannerisms and stuff. So that was all after the fact. Like being able to storytell to Lynn and Lenny and getting some of the responses. Like if I put out the actual play session, it'd be about 5.5 hours. But we condensed it down to I think like maybe 2.5. And there's so much laughing. Like I don't want to get too in detail about it because like it's a really great session. But there's one character named the Arbiter, and I spent about 4 days trying to get that character's mannerisms and voices together. So much so that when I was doing the when I first introduced him in the game, I like had my like back all the way in the chair and sat back like a rugged old man and like did the voice, and like just the response on Lynn and Lenny's, you know, voice and faces. Like I was like, yes, this is the triumph. This is the moment that I strive to have, is like where they just get lost in the story for a minute. And that was a really big success. I think it's one part me studying for the storytelling and the voices, but another part that the material is really easy to work with. And it lended itself to recording too. There was very few things that I had to take out that that were content. There was, now this goes into the trials, the bad parts. Hold on, I actually have notes. Let me pull it up real quick.
Jura, it took me
Lenny lip smacked 193 times, and that's this.
That still pales in comparison to Dyer.
Also, Lynn did about fucking 800 times. She hit her vape so many times. Lenny likes to do this thing where he gets super close to the mic and then like yells into it. And like, oh man, it was
classic Lenny.
I honestly didn't know how hard and how much effort goes into audio engineering until I had to do it. Like there's so much more to it than you see, and all I can say is for every half-hour content you get out of us, man, it's probably about 60 hours of work, if not more. It's a lot of fucking work, man. But it's enjoyable. Yeah, he is. Nick and I have very different. Nick can do things audio-wise that I could never dream of doing, but I can do things with my voice that other people could never dream of. So it works out really well.
Yeah, Jerry, it took me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it took me a minute to realize which character you were talking about, and finally, when it clicked, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's right." I lost my shit when you called out the Arbiter. I got so fucking excited, and I'm bravo! It was great.
It was such a departure too, like from what you're used to hearing my voice sound like in the mannerism to the Arbiter. It's like a completely different person. It's nuts. You guys will hear it. It's fun. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's crazy. I'm just really happy that you've all been so patient for it, and I hope you enjoy the stories.
I know I will.
Yeah, and it came out really good. I know Jura said that I picked on him a little bit. I did it just to reinforce concepts, but no, he did a great job overall.
Yeah, it's good. Man. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Nick, do you want to tell them when it's coming out? Do you want to tell them the release date for it?
It should be released by the end of this week. Effectively, I'm in the last stages of mastering, and it will require me to finish it this weekend, and then just this week just to listen. Because that's something that, when you do a video, whether it's something like this or it's a guide or no matter what it is, you have to listen to it over and over and over again on different devices. So for example, one day I'll listen to earbuds, the next day will be headphones, that night will be my car. Like literally I'll sit out in my car for hours
while
just
you're
listening
crying.
to stuff. Yeah, exactly. And then in my studio, at my work while I'm doing other work, so I listen to it everywhere, and so does like any audio engineer. But it's one of those things where it takes time once it's finished before it should be deployed. So that being said, even though I probably will get it done this weekend, it's going to be until Friday until it comes out.
Okay, next week. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this upcoming Friday. Yeah, not today. A week from today. But in addition to this, Jura, I also had a question because you've been kind of
flirting along the lines of this, but I kind of want to say it straightforward.
Being as traveled as you are, when it more than all of us combined,
I get around.
How would you compare the flavor of tabletop games in Europe versus that of America? Because I know this is something that you know, I have no idea about. But I can just tell from just, whenever I hold like a European book, it's different. It's not like what we have here.
Liam, are you able to get into a voice chat for a second? Because you're from, you're European as well. Get on here. Get on.
You said 2 seconds.
So the reason I'm bringing Liam in is because like Liam is, I don't want to speak for him, but we grew like the culture that I grew up in, which is technically Scandinavian, but it all just kind of falls into Europe. The one thing I've always noticed about American RPGs, and I brought you into this, Liam, like seriously, because you probably have an interesting outlook on it as well, but is that things always seem to kind of work out in American RPGs where you're heroic, you're a larger than life. If you look at Pathfinder, if you look at D&D, if you look at Shadowrun, you're an X person with X special skills and X, you were met at a tavern for a bar, like whether it be fantasy or not. But when you play a European game, when you play the Genesis or you play the Dark Eye, the game is less about you and how the world interacts with you. And I think that kind of shines through in like games like the Genesis and Cult, Dark Eye. And the one thing that kind of makes it weird is that you kind of find out that, and like this is like a much deeper, darker topic that we can talk about at a later time, but it becomes very apparent that games made in the US are more for escapism. And you don't really realize how ill-prepared a culture is to deal with like the short lifespan that they have until you play a game like D&D where there's some magical fairy that can bring you back to life, or you're an epic hero that can't take any damage. But you play like the Genesis, it's like, you could get killed by an Osmos. You could go to Justinia and get knifed by, a clanner. But you could just as easily go outside and get infected with spore. And the games like that become much more about your survival and much less about your heroic deeds.
So,
Liam?
I think that there's nothing that you said that's wrong. I don't disagree with anything you said. Something that I think I've kind of picked up on, in my opinion and in my view, I mean, I've played, I have experience with the Genesis, but I have played a lot of different shit. I mean, I've got like a huge RPG shelf back home. I've played like American stuff. I've played reluctantly D&D, shit like that. And I've played like, for example, I've played a bunch of the Free Legion games. Like, I've got Symbarome, I've ran a game of Coriolis, that sort of thing.
Coriolis is great, yeah.
I've got things from the Flood, I've looked at Tales from the Loop, that sort of shit. What I'd say the difference is, in my view, and it's not, I think this kind of refers to like the big American games rather than indie shit, but it's a matter of focus. Like the European games, I think you get really focused on certain things. So like the Genesis is really focused on its world. Tales from the Loop is really focused on its atmosphere and like the way that it uses Stalenhag's art in a really cool way. Coriolis is really focused on its aesthetic, that sort of shit. Whereas D&D and Pathfinder, they're very much, in my opinion, they're kind of unfocused. They're kind of just let's just do stuff because it's a thing that we do in RPGs, and you can do whatever you want in it. And that's why you get people who are being like, oh, we can turn 5th edition into a biopunk cyberpunk 2500 setting. And it's totally not designed for that, but it doesn't matter because it's so kind of generic that it fits. But I mean, all of the comments you made about things being kind of more escapist are also true. I mean, I don't disagree with that. And I think both have their place in certain things. I mean, D&D is a relatively good dungeon crawler. It's got its niche. I think people just use it for everything instead of what it's designed for. But whatever.
Yeah. Expansiveness, I think, like you touched upon it. And what's interesting is like, you say some of these games, like Tales from the Loop, stuff like that. It's like, to me, I've heard of those. You hear about these games, and I mean, some of them are indie, some of them are like, I would say like culturally indie. And it's weird because, and there's nothing wrong with D&D. Like Gary Gygax, made something amazing. But when you really sit down and look at like the proper setting for the group of people you want to play with, there's so much out there, and there's way more focused things. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like when it comes to focus, I feel like you play a game that comes from European Scandinavian area, you're playing a game that is set in that world. Like if you're playing Skyrim, you're playing Skyrim. You're not playing like a PUBG game that you can also be a Nord in, like you're playing what you set out to play.
Yeah, I get you. I think it's also kind of a byproduct of the big market RPGs trying to hit as many like markets as they can, essentially. I mean, Forgotten Realms is kind of just the most generic kitchen sink setting that you can possibly think of, precisely because the idea of it is that anyone can look at the setting, pick somewhere on it, and be like, oh, I'll do this classic fantasy thing here. Oh, what if I want to do this other classic fantasy thing? Oh, I don't even need to think about using a different setting because this bit of the setting tailors to that. And it has its merits in as much as you can kind of do a lot of different things with the same setting. But then it's also like the setting has nothing really unique to it. There's no kicker that's like, oh, this isn't just a generic Tolkien-inspired fantasy setting. It's got this cool stuff in it. It's just, this is the 50th generic Tolkien-inspired setting that I've read. Cool. All right, I'll do some elves and dwarves and hobbits and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Thumbs up.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, Liam. I appreciate it. I just
Also-
don't like to be the only like fucking foreign dude. Like,
I mean, I'd hardly call myself foreign. I'm from Scotland. It's not exactly the most exotic location.
thank God it's not Ireland.
That's my parents.
I said what I said.
All right, Jura. There is one thing, and it's very important. Okay, the book, Justitian. You fuck. It's a T, not an N. You shit.
Yeah, I can't say it the way you say it, you turd.
It's literally just a T. It's just a T. I'm sorry. I get really frustrated because everyone comes in and they're like, Justinian? When's Justinian coming out?
Well, tell the
Justinian?
editor to do a better job of spacing out the characters so I can read it.
What?
Yeah, tell whoever's editing the spelling should consider how they write it. I think his name's Liam. I'm not sure.
It's not difficult. They're not. You can't confuse these words.
As an act of diplomatic unity, I will endeavor to say Justinian for you.
You know what? I'll fucking take it. It's better than Justinian. It's better
If you
than Justinian.
phonetically spell it for me, I'll fucking say it. He's writing. God damn it. I deserve this. I deserve this.
There. Are you happy now?
Justitian. Justitian. Justitian.
Yes.
Justitian. That sucks. I hate that word. Justinian. Yeah, that's way better.
I'm going back to fucking listening in on this shit instead of talking.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Liam.
Thank you.
Especially guys, Liam.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Mom. Yeah, so just to round that out, yeah, everything he said is absolutely valid. Like I said, just in my opinion, there are some like themes out there. Like, if you ever read, well, I mean, you won't read the new Cult book because it's in the fucking Kickstarter right now. But that's a story for another day. Cult has some very dark themes in it, but the themes kind of stick. So, just long story short, you get what you pay for, and when you look at a book like the Genesis, which by the way is 100% free, blows my mind. But you look at when I got it, it was not free. It was damn near $150 American, and I was like, what in the fuck does this book have that's $150? And I opened it up and immediately went, oh, that was the end of it. I was like, oh, that. So I would say, to close it out, like, you're consumers. Each and every one of you that's listening to this, consumer. Anytime you send money to a Kickstarter, anytime you send money to a GoFundMe, or allow print on demand to just be what you accept, you don't always get the quality of something that deserves the money that you give. So I would ask you as consumers to just research what kind of games you like, and see what else is out there. See what else in the world might have the specific themes that you like, and go for that. Put your money there. There's a lot of independent developers out in different countries and here, and you don't just have to settle for what you're spoon-fed. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there, and you deserve to look at it for yourself.
Awesomely put. That was great, Jura and Liam. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Liam. Justitian.
You did it!
Thank you, Liam.
Jura, I never doubted you.
Thank you.
So, for the next section, just talking about a little bit of the other projects on the horizon, Not necessarily, well, yeah, kind of on the rise. And I guess we'll lump these two sections in together, everyone. So for Chronicles, Chris was gonna go off on the guides that he's promised, but he pieced out before he did it. So yeah, he didn't commit again.
God, no!
So yeah, he promises a lot of stuff, and I hold him to it. But so for me, I have them currently docked, as in they're done and just need to be recorded. But I've been doing so much other stuff at the moment, helping out, that I haven't gotten to them yet. It's I basically have the Centimani for Promethean done, as well as the Aslu for Werewolf, the Forsaken. Both of them are done. I just haven't recorded them yet. In terms of the Promethean playthrough, Jura, that was done that day, do you want to kind of talk about it?
So the hardest part. So I want to do more playthroughs. I really do, and I want to do more playthroughs that we interact with people more. And I'm not sure if the best way to go through it is recording in Discord, because it's incredibly hard to isolate what's going on in that room. We're working on it. We're working very hard on trying to get that to be audibly decent enough to, be put up as a video. But going forward, we might set a few standards up for people when we record things that are going to become videos. And I think what that'll end up being is just the main requirement be that you have some sort of maybe a gaming microphone or a headset, and at the very least download Audacity or Logic or something so that you have a WAV file that you can send to us, so we have something better to edit. But I mean, would you guys like to see more playthroughs? Be a part of playthroughs like that? What do you guys get any feedback for that one? That was a little bit ago.
Yes.
Go ahead and type your question up here in the Botch text talk chat. It says multiple people are typing.
Several people
are typing.
Ace and I would like to see more playthroughs.
Yeah.
I like to be in a
Why don't we go on
Fuck
to
you, Slav.
Well, we're going to talk about it, Jura.
What, the Cryptic Underground?
Yeah. Let's jump to that now, Jura. Jump to that.
Well, hold on. We will get to that. We'll get to that in 1 second. I want you to get through your projects and then what I've got coming up, because it's the very next. Oh, it's the very next thing. Never mind. Here we are. We're at.
Yeah. Basically,
we did Genesis Call of Cthulhu, Cryptic Underground. So why don't you go with? Do
you want to say the Genesis first?
So the thing. What do you mean? Say the Genesis first. What are you talking about? This stuff we're doing?
Yeah. Do you want to say that, or you can do whatever you'd like, Jura?
I know I can. I was just trying to be polite. So some of the things that I'm working on right now, and it ties into that, is right now I'm setting up a Salty Warhammer 40K video set, because I think people do Warhammer way too fucking serious. Way too fucking serious. And there's a lot of spankings that can go around for that. So that's in the works. It's not going to be as pretty as some I usually put out, but it's more like filler content. It's not meant to be the bread and butter. It's meant to be the salt and pepper. The next big thing is building the TCU storytellers. So the Cryptic Underground I took a hiatus for 8 weeks from that, and the reason being was, one, the Genesis. Dedicated my full time to that. Plus, as we all know, I own half of North America. I'm also moving in 2 weeks. Lynn and I bought our first house together. So there's been a lot of traveling for that. And once that kind of settles down, we'll be a bit more active in the TCU. With the TCU in mind, Lynn is going to be taking over the majority of story arc writing for it. Now, she has a lot of the meta plots that I started with you guys, and that's gonna be a thing. Also, is Cash in here?
I saw him in here earlier.
Cash is in here, yeah. Cash is going to be one of our new storytellers too. It's not going to be like last time. I'm not going to say there's a storyteller and the storyteller shows up. Cash actually already wrote some stuff for me to take a look at. I'm actually really pleased with it. It looks really good. I'm excited. I hate saying this out loud, but I'm going to. So, I respect you, Cash. For the first time in the Cryptic Underground's history, we are going to have mages. So, yeah. Mages. Skarks, yeah, you're still gonna have to get with Lynn for the storytelling. We still have to do the interview thing with you, but like I said, buying 2 properties up north, it's been really hectic. So, like if we the only reason that we like Cash kind of came in and Cash was like, hey, here's a bunch of stuff I have written, check it out, can I run it? And I was just like, oh my god, I didn't have to do anything, you just fucking spoon-fed it to me, great, okay. And that was really huge. That was like a really big high five went up for him. So the TCU is going to be coming back. It's going to look a little different. We're hoping to have multiple storytellers. Soda! Ace! But one of the other things that we're going to be looking at is 10-minute single-serving stories, like Nick did with Vel. So the TCU is gonna not only be a roleplay sessions for live sessions and gaming for the community to go and game together in, but it's also going to be somewhere where we develop short stories for content. Nick, did you want to talk a little bit on that, or?
Yeah, in terms of pertaining to the Cryptic Underground or the additional stuff too.
Let's say either or.
Okay. I'll save the second half for later then. No, but that's something that, me and, and Jura and Passon have talked about, because we've always found that the typing sessions are good, but the real investment or the real draw of the Cryptic Underground is the recordings. Because in that you can actually, like, in the moment feel what someone is feeling. It's a very different experience, as if any, I assume a lot of you have done it before, where you've done the type to play situation, but yeah, I'm sure everyone here realizes, just the value of doing the live sessions, even if it's just like 10 minutes. And that's a big thing for us, because the longer it drags on, not from necessarily a storyteller's point of view, but from an engineer's point of view, it becomes a lot harder and less manageable with every passing moment. So we're trying to keep it very, very, short and sweet and to the point. Yeah. Right, Jura?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In terms of that as well, I am still looking for a few storytellers. If you know someone who likes the ST, if you're interested in storytelling, yes, I know Skarks, you are interested, and they want to be a part of one of the fastest growing online communities for it, and it's not just the TCU doesn't just cover Chronicles. We have Cthulhu. Oh, I should segue into that. God damn it, Nick, you're good.
Woo!
Yeah. So we have a previous recording for Call of Cthulhu. I think I was working on that. I can't remember. One of us.
You were.
Yeah, it's horrible. I wasn't that good yet. The next Call of Cthulhu, which I'm getting ready to put together and run, is going to be Shadows over Innsmouth. I'm going to get more detailed on that. That's probably going to come, closer to the October time. I'm not saying that, but something that I wanted to introduce for the TC is Botchling Mythos. It's something that I thought a lot about. It's specifically related to Call of Cthulhu, but I'm willing to let it kind of bleed into Chronicles or the Genesis or Wrath and Glory, which we'll get to that in a minute. And what it is the Botch members, that's you guys, come in and submit monsters with lore and a description. And every month we're gonna take one or two of them. We're gonna add them into a storyline for the Call of Cthulhu, and we're going to run a story around that. So it's a twist on Monster of the Week, but it's more geared towards the Call of Cthulhu game system. So if that's something that you might be interested in, we can open up either another tab on the Discord server, or you can do it in the community content page. But you guys have a lot of fantastic ideas. You really do. And it's often that you guys will say something that you come up with, and I kind of inadvertently like shove you down to the community content page. And it's not because I hate you. It's because I can't fucking read anything anymore. But if you have ideas for NPCs, monsters, gods, plot hooks, it's going to be called the Botchling Mythos is what it's going to be called. And I want to see it. I want you guys to write it. And the more you guys do this, the more you're going to see content based around it. And the more content you get coming out, the more likely I am to do like fucking giveaways about this shit and stuff. So, Nick, you got anything about the Botch Mythos?
I think it's a fantastic idea. Like Jura said, you all have really, really amazing ideas. And much like, I feel like I'm kind of in the boat with Jura where I'm like, wrong chat, put it someplace else. It's not because, we don't, love you guys. It's just that, it helps us as, administrators, people at the Botch Pit just to, find these ideas and give them credit to where they deserve. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Lenny, what do you think about that? He's asleep right now.
No, I'm still here.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I have ADD. Fuck off. I honestly think it's a really good idea. I mean, we have a really, really awesome community. Everyone's really cool, and I think it's a really, really good way for them to kind of, branch out and show us what they got. I mean,
show me what you got.
God damn it, sure. No, Rick and Morty. Anyways, no, I mean, everyone here has been really, really cool. I know all of you are really, really creative. I think it's about time that we actually give you guys a chance to, literally show us what you guys are capable of, and I think it's a great idea.
I don't think there's been a day where I've woke up where Penny has put one word message about some crazy character she had, which, by the way, Penny, where to the gods, I'm going to sit with you next to your keyboard and show you how to type. But fucking kick her. kick her now. Or like even Blood Tiger, like I'll wake up and there's like 46 pages of a lore dump for his game or something, and it's like, holy shit, dude, you're great. You got so much content. Share that with people. Just not in the general chat. Like, let's make a chat for you to do that. That's a good idea.
It makes me feel bad, when I develop a character. I see someone, I'm like, yeah, I like that. I'm gonna use that, and I call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Believe me, ask Nick how many characters I pulled out of my ass in 10 minutes.
Oh, we know.
Oh, God.
I've played with you enough now to know that your character's going to try to punch everything that it can. Your character is going to fail every cerebral check it has. And you're going to swear about 75 times. And I love it. I love everything about you.
Sure, you think you know me so well. I mean, all of that was correct, but yeah.
You think you know me so well, but you really do. I love it. So there's that. Fuck me. We got casting call for the STs. Oh, the Genesis. What's coming up? Nick, what are
Yes.
you writing and researching currently for your Genesis part?
Borka.
Borka.
That's what I've been kind of reading up on.
Nick was like, man, I want to do Frank. I'm like, but do Borka first. And he's like, yeah, I really like Frank. I'm like, Borka would be better. And he's like, oh, why, Jura? Can you tell me? And I was like, well, that's because Justician is coming out soon, and it'd be a good time to link those two together. So we're gonna focus more on not only the culture and the region of everything that goes down, but the conflicts that happen in that specific region, which are going to be touched on greatly in Justician. So, we're excited.
Can I get Nick? Can you actually do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you say Polgare?
Am I gonna get impaled? I feel like I am.
Because I think when I did it by the Italian pronunciation, and I'm not sure if that's correct. And I don't speak Italian, even though I am Italian. It's like Pulgare or Pulgare. I always mess it up.
Nick, you don't.
Man, I was sitting here for an hour doing those names. It was brutal for me because I'm from Boston and I can barely speak English.
We speak Bostonian.
I just start combining words together that don't belong there.
Man, sounds like a whole bunch of weasels at the bottom of the tea kettle.
What do you mean you don't speak Italian though? I thought you bled marinara.
I do. I don't know how to speak it.
That's called
I can bleed
hemoglobin.
it.
What's that, Jared?
That's called hemoglobin.
Well, I mean, after the video he sent us last night, I mean, are you surprised?
Yeah. So
the dinner.
That's fucked up. So he's got Borka coming up. I'm going to be doing the RG, the recombination group, and the conflicts with that, which is going to be about more so some parts of the Palers, and it's going to be some parts about the Marauders as well, because the RG is pretty fucking crazy. They're basically the Walmart meets Jeff Bezos meets Darth Vader. Yeah, RG's tough, man. RG's a lot of fun. People who killed the world. Yeah, I think the Primer had something to do with that too, though, Liam, if I remember correctly.
I love Liam's comments. I love Liam in the chat.
Yeah, I'm pro sepsis. I think what is it? What's the thing? I fucking yes, you are. You are quoting Black Atlantic. So what's the quote from 28 Days Later? He's like, if you think about it, mankind's been around for a few thousand years, a blip in a linear timeline. If we were all wiped out tomorrow, wouldn't that be a return to normalcy? And I love fucking games that emphasize that as a point. Most people are like, I just played a video game and I saved Hyrule and I feel great. I'm like, oh man, I just fucking Sin City'd myself. I'm Bruce Willis and I'm dead now. I fucking live for that shit. Anyway, happier comments, Jared. You're not in pain or anything. Future project announcements. Nick, I've talked so much. Please, you talk about the future project announcements for yourself. Because it's huge. It's fucking huge.
Yeah, so in addition to the stuff that we've been talking about, in passing, I remember mentioning this to Chris almost a year ago. And it was something that I really wanted to kind of do. But at the time, we were just getting so ransacked with everything that I kind of put it on the back burner for a very, very long time. But now it's finally a time after doing all this work where I'm like, I kind of want to really explore it now. It's something that to me, it's very, very personal. Because it has to do primarily with audio and the deliverance of it. So what it is it's a certain type of recording technique. A lot of you would know it as ASMR, but it's really called binaural recording. What it is, it's you put yourself into almost a first person point of view. Like when I first came across it, it was way back in college with like the virtual haircut and all that good stuff. However, what I would like to do with it, and it's something that you just, like, I think it was like, what was it, Jura? Like 2 weeks ago, I was like, hey, I'd like to do this. And you're like, you need to do it.
It was 9 days because I had my pep talk.
Yeah, it was. So I'm really, it's kind of stemming from like the Cryptic Underground and everything we did there. Well, what I contributed to that. I really liked writing original stories. So not necessarily set in a certain environment, but horror stories that were created and recorded to a high degree. And what I'd like to kind of do, going along the lines of that, is I'd like to use that and combine the recording techniques of binaural recording to create binaural horror experiences. This is something that, like I said, I've been thinking about it for a good time now, and I kind of have my first story like in my mind what I'd like to do with it, but it's something that I feel like it would make me feel good personally, and it's something that I could highlight, different recording techniques and stuff like that. So again, it's a personal project, but I'm glad to be finally announcing it.
It's not just a personal project anymore.
It is not.
You're right, Liam. I will come to your chair. That's exactly what I'm gonna do for this. It's like, you ordered an ASMR experience. I just come in and like punch you in the fucking face, take a piss in your oven, eat all your food, shit in your cat's litter box, and leave.
Didn't that all happen at the Airbnb?
I think so. But so that's something that I want to work on with Nick, because it allows you to immerse yourself in it, and it also allows yourself to do something I'm very fond of, which is what, Nick? What am I really fond of?
Voice acting.
Voice acting. That's my sweet pea. All right, so we got that. What else do we have? Oh, shit. All that other shit. So...
That's the most Botch quote ever.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So you might have been noticing a lot of Warhammer stuff. And it's ironic that I'm saying this now, because like that shit just came in 3 hours ago. A lot of Warhammer stuff. There's a company called Cubicle 7, and they're putting out a second edition of a game called Wrath and Glory, which is set in Warhammer 40,000 universe. Now I have all the books, I have all the audio and stuff. So that's one of the things that is going to be coming around in the future. It'll probably be a PlayStation. It'll be guides. We'll see. I've kind of gotten the okay from Chris and Nick to do stuff on my own now. I've graduated to the big boy leagues. We just got to do some peer review on it. But so there's going to be a lot more Warhammer. I know you've seen some models. What do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think we should cover Warhammer stuff? Do you think we should cover... Yeah, it is. It's very solid. Actually, get with me after this, Liam, because I bought something for you and I forgot about it. What do you guys think about, first of all, about having more Warhammer stuff, maybe having like a place where you can showcase your miniatures. I keep doing it in chat room A. Also, maybe like painting guides. Salty Warhammer lore is something I'm really excited about because I get to make fun of all of the factions. Each one of you gets to get butthurt about it. Yeah. And then Wrath and Glory is something I'm really excited about because I absolutely need to see Chris, Nick, and Lenny play something where they're Space Marine or sister. I absolutely know that Nick's gonna play a sister of battle. Like, super bitchy, platinum haired, armor wearing, machine gun wielding Karen. I just described everything Nick should be playing. And Lenny is literally a space wolf. Like, Lenny is 110% a space wolf, like in the flesh, walking around, screaming for Lehman Russ. Chris is probably a That's a hard one. I don't know. Chris is probably the Adeptus Mechanicus. Like, they're just nerds that want knowledge and, like, want to put, like, technological shit together and, like, sing about it. The Adeptus Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle, sit around and masturbate with the crucifix of the Emperor all day. And they're just the biggest Karens in the world. And the Space Marines are basically just, like, fucking Chads. They're all frat brothers. And I like the Necrons. They're space vibrators. And they just fucking, like, don't do anything. They just shit. But yeah, so Warhammer stuff on the horizon. Play sessions on the horizon. I want to get in with Nick. Like, I want to get more. I really want to develop. I want to get deeply inside of Nick's mind, brain, and really work on that binaural recordings. I create, like, Nick and I always go back and forth. We're like, dude, we've done so much stuff in the past few months. And Nick said something that, like, really stuck with me today. He's like, I want to do something really am passionate about. Like, I really want to do. And it's not to say you're not passionate about anything else. It's just that, like, sometimes you just need to do a project you really want to do. And when he said that, it like infected me too. I was like, I need something where I just get to voice act. Like, I need to not run something for one day, and I need to tell a story. Like, I did a voiceover for the first Cryptic Underground we ever did, where I kind of did it like the audio demon. Do you still have that, Nick?
I actually still have. Well, do you know what I did for that, Jura?
What?
I actually made it an entire profile so I can bring it up at any point in time. So if you ever want to do it, I have it on, like, standby. I can actually even send it to you, I think.
Maybe. I loved doing the audio demon, or the the radio demon. I fucking loved it. If you haven't watched Has Been Hotel, as soon as this is over, go on YouTube and watch it. It's a pilot episode, but there's a character named Alistair, and I'm fucking in love with him. Like, if you want to know how I am in real life, that's how I am. Like, he says, what does he say?
Says a lot of things.
If I wanted to hurt you, I'd have done it already. It's like, oh.
Shura.
Yeah.
How could you be infected if you haven't got inside Nick yet?
Have you ever seen Nick sit down before?
Yes, I have. Many a times.
Well, have you seen him sit down recently?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
When his car broke down.
Little slant.
Yeah, that's
is the way
true.
he sits now. Nick, tell us about your car. Tell us about your car, Nick.
Oh my goodness, like car is just so.
That poor car.
What happened is I got a large package delivered to my house. That's how it started. Yeah, it was from Jura. It was massive. So I started on opening it, and I was on opening it with JMO. And and he's helping me pull everything out. And it was just like Warhammer upon Warhammer upon Warhammer stuff. And I'm like,
Literally, I sat there with all of it, and I'm like,
package.
I'm like,
there's too much stuff here. I need to go give this to, like, Letty and Chris to, like, get some of it out of here. Because there's just so much. I didn't want it to get broken.
So you gave it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I drove over to Lenny's house, and I'm sitting there in my car, and then I get out and we're talking and stuff, and I go to start my car back up again, and it would start up and then just shut off. And me and Lenny are like, what is happening right now? So we tried starting it up and shutting it off for a little bit, and it kept, like, you know, clicking and then, like, going off. And we're like, what is going on? We tried jumping it from Lenny's car, didn't do anything. So finally we called AAA. So I was inside Lenny's house for an additional hour, like, all, like, you know, upset and stuff, because I'm like, why'd this happen now? And then meanwhile, Jura's, like, telling me, like, to, like, open up my hood and, like, do all this, like, crazy stuff, because, like, him and, like, Lynn were sitting there schematic, you know, scheming out my infinity.
Panels.
Yeah, they're like, you need to break this open and do this. I'm like, no. So the AAA guy got there, and then he had to drive me home. So then what happens is, like, so I bring it so we had to get it towed home, and then I got it towed to the mechanic like 2 days later. And then what happened is they figured out basically what had happened is one of my oil lines went, and all the oil from my engine leaked out. So me and Lenny were in there in his driveway, keep trying to start my car to make it work, and it was like, no, please don't.
And it would shut down. But me and Lenny,
you know, the thick-headedness that we were like, we turned it on. It's like, no. It kept turning itself off. It went on for like we did it 20 times, but basically we brought it to the mechanic. They fixed everything. It was fine. And then I was driving it again on like last Friday, and it did it to me again. It like literally like just stopped. So me and my dad spent this past weekend just going through all of it, and yeah, that was my car story on how I broke down at Lenny's house. But his internet was amazing.
All right.
Q&A.
Move on to Q&A.
Hit us with your questions. We'll give you answers. Ask me anything. Ask Nick anything. Lenny too. We've got chalk.
Yeah, because I know we tried to answer them as they were going up, but it's actually really hard because everyone just keeps typing.
Do you eat burgers with or without the paper? Jack of Hearts says that. What?
I eat burgers with my hands because I'm an adult.
I've eaten a whole pack of Starburst. Or no, not Starburst. I've eaten a whole fucking pack of ground beef, like raw. I probably ate paper too. I was so hungry. I was on keto. So I'd say with paper. With paper. Yeah. Definitely with paper.
I mean,
I don't use keto anymore because keto's stupid. Lenny, do you eat it with paper or without?
I don't know. It depends on how long it's been since I've had my last meal.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
question, Jack. Anybody else?
So right about now, yeah, I could probably eat it with paper.
God of Axes, probably.
Yeah.
Questions. You can also like say it to us. Feel free
Yeah,
to like,
you can
talk.
Talk.
Take off your mics.
Oh, what?
Take off your
Actively
mics.
typing.
You need the mics to talk.
What was that, Gaz?
I'm actively typing my question.
Where is the child? What was that, Gaz?
Is there any possibility we could get some of the Chronicles of Darkness line lore videos out of you guys? Because that's one of the areas where I feel they really excel.
What do you mean by that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my shelf right now.
Uh-huh.
Chronicles of Darkness, it seems to be more lore focused than most other games. But in you guys' guides, we haven't really heard anything about lore so much as game mechanics.
Oh,
so
okay.
You're asking for lore from the Chronicles lines?
Yes.
Now, just to clarify, do you mean from the line Chronicles of Darkness and in the core?
No,
the
just
books
any
associated
of
with that?
any of the line.
Oh, okay. What
I'll be right back.
specific line are you would you like more information on?
I mean, there's a lot of. It's mostly 1E supplements, and I get that, but there's a lot of it for human that would be adaptable into most of the line. And
Okay.
everyone knows vampire is just chock full of lore.
Yeah. So doing more human supplements for Chronicles of Darkness. Like, well, I guess off the top of my head, because I'm looking at my shelf too, which ones are you looking at that you'd like to see about? Anything specific?
I would love to hear about section. I believe it's called Precinct 13. Looks really interesting.
Is that the short story ones? It's like the tales from Precinct 13?
Yeah, I believe that's it. Let me pull it up. I'll post a link in chat.
Yeah, because I remember reading that book, and it was one of those it was one of those books that it's weird. It's like one of if I can remember correctly, because I could be speaking wrong, but it's one of like the first books written for the line or among them. Like it's the same like ghost stories.
I mean, I wish I could ask for Changeling lore, but there doesn't seem to be as much of it as the other splats.
So, just to clarify, when you say lore, you mean the short stories written by other people,
I mean
right?
the events that happened within the world leading up to the modern day. That shaped the world.
Okay. All right, now I'm getting you. Okay.
What?
Okay, found it. This one.
Yes, yeah, I know that book. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask about the about that one cursed book that we've both read. The damn, you know the one
Spirits?
that's Urban Legends.
Oh,
Yeah,
Urban Legends.
Oh,
is
that's
is
the best
horrendous.
book ever made.
I use that.
That's what you get.
You know what the most usefulness I got out of that book was?
Was it a
Using
fucking
it as
coffee
a
cup
coaster.
No, I brought it to IKEA to measure shelves. That is the most I've ever gotten out of that book.
Book is a shit sandwich.
You're only allowed to use Geist Second Edition as a coaster.
No, but that was a good question. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, I'll ask Chris about that because that's definitely a Chris fielded question.
Yeah, he'll say he's gonna do it, and then 4 months later, you'll still be waiting for mages to enter the cryptic underground.
I really like Sona's question. I want to get your guys' take on it. What's your favorite scene you ever ran or experienced?
Ooh.
I know mine.
Go ahead, then say it.
Oh no. Oh, fine. Mine by far was session 18. Watching.
Thanks, Letty.
Nick, I'm sorry. Oh fuck, what was his name? Lance was a very close.
Oh, Lance.
Lance was a very close second, but session 18, hands down, was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is probably the 2 years. Yeah, it is almost a year ago, actually.
Year ago.
What?
Yeah, I know. It was It was over a year ago. It was 2
Was
years
it
ago, I think.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh yeah, it was. We were still. Yeah, everyone was still in Brazil. No, session 18. That day, that session will probably live in my memory for ever. Honestly, I've known, like I said, I've known Dyer probably 10+ years, and you know, during that time, he and I got in a lot of fights, and I've seen him mad, but I have never seen him like
that picture.
Hurt, angry, rage-induced, like just like on the verge of killing someone and jumping out the window at the same time. Nick, just in utter shock. And then you have Brad and I pissing our pants, laughing at just the misery on the other side of the table. Like, it really shows Dyer's character that he was willing to give up 2 of his characters that he's played with for so long to make sure one of his new players
Give up means Scar.
Tries to shield him and help him make, have an enjoyable experience playing the game. But at the same time, Nick, I don't think I've ever seen that side of you when that rolls happen. Like, I've never seen you in utter disbelief and just shock. Yeah, that was hands down the best experience I've had playing with them. Oh my god, it was so fucking funny, and you can just hear the misery in the recording.
So I have an alley-oop to that, and I'm gonna present you guys the evidence. Give me just a second.
Oh no!
You try to scroll through these pictures of Pearl. Give me a second.
He's not kidding.
Let me see if I can bring this up.
Here we go.
All right, no one type anything yet.
Actually, Nick, I just thought of another close second.
So I'm gonna show you what those 2 pictures are. So everyone has witnessed them. So on the left is session 18. That is the berating Chris that you never see. Him very angry, him yelling at me like an angry father with his glasses pulled down a little bit in his little flannel shirt. And so what had happened to cause that image was that there was 2 characters that were killed. And we've heard the story many a time because he never lets us forget it. And what had happened is that was immediately after both those characters had died because my rolling was terrible. So we took a hiatus from that game.
Yeah, we did.
It like was a point where like it may have broke the botch pit, where I may not have come back and recorded because I'm not sure if it was ever mentioned. That was the first night we ever recorded. He pulled that stunt on me. Yeah. Oh, don't. I remember every single vivid detail that night.
No. Yeah, it was.
It was.
It was.
You can tell because I have my older MacBook there, and I had all my. I was going into a mixer versus the actual interface, but that's another story. But so what had happened is I rolled so bad that I got his 2 characters killed. So Chris has 3 favorite characters. Two of them died that night.
Yeah.
So what had happened is we started to do session 19. So over there on the right-hand side, you are witnessing session 19. Now let me explain what had happened. So the hiatus lasted, I'd say about 6 months to a year. I think, Lenny, right? It was a serious amount of time we waited.
It was a good chunk of time. Yeah, I'd say about 6 months.
And he was still finding his footing of where to go with it. He even admitted it wasn't his best session. But what had happened is I rolled. And technically, if he was following the rules, it would have killed his 3rd character. And that is the face of a man who has seen death. You zoom in on his face here. I'll do it for you guys. Don't worry about it. You are witnessing misery. So here's his face. What did I just do? Did I actually bring this back in again? I thought I got rid of this 6 months ago, and it's just been waiting here. It was the first roll back, too. Fucking killed his character.
Nick, that is definitely the face of a man who is, like, contemplating murdering his friend.
Yeah.
But I guess that was my favorite moment. It was like the 6 month, like, punchline. That I guess got me. How about you, Jera?
Oh boy. So many moments. So little time. I'd say one of my favorites. Probably, I was running a game, 9 or 10 people. Or 9 people. And it was Call of Cthulhu. And I had just got done explaining to the group. It was based in a story called Pickman's Mom. And I had just got done explaining to the group that there was a cavern located in the basement of the home that they were in currently. And the way I had set the scene up was in such a way that, like, all the context made them want to leave. Like, all the context was like, get out of the building, you know, because, like, there's a hole in the ground and there's bad stuff down. The group I was playing with were thick. Yes, thick. And just weren't picking up on the context clues. So after about, 15 minutes of me really being like, hey, don't go down there kind of thing. Like my ex machina character is like, don't go down there. It's a really bad place to be. They decided to go down. They went down all the way down the steps. And at this point, I'm like, well, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm just going to let them see the monster or roll with it, and it's going to happen. And I rolled a D100, and I'm like, these are horde creatures. So, I'll roll on a D100. and we'll just, see how many creatures they see. And this is the only time in all of my time playing Call of Cthulhu that I ever rolled 100. And I rolled the dice, and there was 100 Hungry Dark Young in this basement. So let me set the scene. 6 people walking down the steps. 3 people standing up at the top of the steps guarding the door. Nobody has a flashlight. Nobody has a torch. Nobody has a light source. They get about down 25 steps, and they go, "Hello?" Like, just announce their presence. And I roll the dice. And I look up from the screen, and I had some really big eyes. I was like, holy shit, how am I going to roleplay this out? They asked for it. At this point, they earned this. They earned it. And so for the first time in probably 2 months, I drew out the area on the map. And I just took as many D6s as I could and started putting them around. And I was like, this is where you 6 people are. Roll for initiative. Just the look on their faces. So fucking horrible. So fucking nobody survived. They died. They absolutely died. And I made sure to take about 3 minutes to tell each one of them how their character died and what body parts of theirs came off. Just bad shit. But it was worth it. They never played with me again. That happens sometimes. I'm used to that. I played I think my second favorite would probably have been last week. I was playing Warhammer Wrath and Glory, and I had 4 Imperial people, and their whole job was to save this priest. And they decided that this orc comes down from the sky and has a hook attached to his back with a rope on a crane, and he grabs the priest and he starts rappelling up into the air. And it's so save the priest is the idea. We have Lynn playing a Sister Sororitas. We have my buddy Casey playing a priest, a different priest. We have my buddy Willie playing a guardsman, and my buddy Mike playing a Space Marine. And it's at this point, it's just kind of he got caught. You just gonna have to go and work to find him. Everybody simultaneously opens fire through the hole in the roof and just starts dumping bullets into the sky to shoot this orc that's 50 feet up in the air carrying this priest. And I had to stop for 10 minutes and just, what happens if you hit the orc? He drops the priest. And what happens if you hit the priest? You kill the priest. So it was just fucking nightmarish. The game, it was funny. It was really funny to watch them try to roll to save the priest, jump out and save him. It's people are stupid. My favorite parts always come from people being idiots. That's all. There's not thinking things through.
Is that why you enjoy playing with us so much?
I really enjoy playing with Nick. I enjoy role playing with all of you guys, but Nick, I like each one of you for something different. I like Nick because Nick takes everything I say in stride. I don't think I've ever said anything in a game yet where he was really caught off guard by it, and I strive to do that more every time. Lenny, I love playing with you because your childlike involvement. You fucking go so hard in the paint on some shit, and I'm yeah, man, you should be excited about that. And then Lynn really plays into stories, and that's really cool to see. She gets into it really hard. We were playing D&D one time, and she wrote a whole diary dedicated to her gnome character that went around the world, taking notes of different flora and fauna and adventures she was on. You'll have to ask her about something. It's really fucking cool. Lynn had a really good idea with it. And Chris, I think did I ever DM for Chris yet?
Not yet.
Yeah. I look forward to that because I kind of want to see him. I want to see him respond to me as a DM.
Nick, I put my second favorite one in the chat. I'm sure you remember that night.
But I could give another one. I mean, there are so many good moments. No, I didn't.
I could give one.
Oh, do you want to give one?
Oh, go ahead, Yoni.
My favorite moment
was the whaler getting harpooned through my character's leg, Isaiah Woolsworth. That scene was awesome. Jeez.
Get what you fucking deserve.
I love that Gaz actually set that up.
I didn't forget about you, Gad. I didn't forget.
I'm waiting for the justice to come my way.
I remember like sitting there and I'm like, sure, what should we do with Yanni? And he's like, well, did you read what happened? I go, no. And I looked at it, I'm like, fuck. And I had to like repair it. That was good.
I'm gonna say the Call of Cthulhu session for me.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, I was very much a fan of. Well, it was the way the story went, other than the museum curator. It does help that everyone involved with that session was extremely funny with what they were doing. I mean, Lynn with the whole library scene, that was funny shit for me.
I think Nightfall's character is probably my favorite one from that. Like,
what were you doing during?
I've read one book in 3 years.
Oh no.
Biggest challenges you're facing in regards to what?
No, just in recording, getting the videos up, life in general, whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay. I think the biggest thing is that we haven't really been able to meet in person. The last time we met in person was for that live stream, and that was it. Just with everyone's schedules right now, it is a little difficult, especially the storyteller, not naming names. But the bus is coming, and I just threw him right underneath.
You act as if he doesn't perpetually have tire marks on his back.
No, Chris, look out.
No, but like that's something very challenging right now, is just finding time when we can all do it. And again, when it comes to like doing the videos, like Jura mentioned earlier, it is kind of a time sink that you just need to like sit through and just do, you know?
I'm not really gonna drink.
Uh-oh, several people are typing.
Shit.
Several people are typing.
I have a question. Wait, did you say that we could speak our questions?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can speak.
yeah.
You can spell. You can.
All right. I don't
do a
think
recording
that you
for
answered
reasons.
this before, but who was your best character you've ever made?
Oh.
Oh shit. Ooh. Well, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Nick. You can have that one.
Okay. The best character I've ever made. I have an opinion. Well, all the characters I've ever made, I'll be quite honest, have been with the Botch Pit. And there's one that's in my mind. But I want to see if Lenny is going to say the person I'm thinking right now. Lenny.
Oh no, this is like the worst
Lenny.
couples.
Lenny.
Right. Yes.
Who do you think's my best character? Or my most favorite character?
Who do you think?
That's tough. That's really tough. I'd say Kill Mill is definitely up there.
She is. Who's my favorite, though?
Are we talking in-game?
Yeah. Well, it's any character I've made.
What's that?
Like an RPG.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be one we've seen. Or like a short description, maybe, like why you like them so much. Please.
Alright. Fuck. Nick, that's tough, man. I know you enjoyed Murdana.
Madonna was... Yeah. That was fun. That was fun.
I'm like trying to think of like which characters.
Do you know? Like, watch this. Watch this. I'll say 6 words, and Lenny, you'll know exactly who it is.
Well, fucking do it.
You know who it is, darling.
I can definitely see it just because that would make sense that it was your first character.
Yes, my favorite.
Oh, Viv.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, I can see it.
So, Vivian Milakova, she was a riot to the point where she was taken from me, from Chris.
But she keeps slipping back into gameplay.
What's up?
Hasn't she slipped back into gameplay a couple times?
Do what we want, and Chris is in.
Oh no, you're thinking of another character. So there's Viv and Val. There's 2 of them.
Oh yeah, it's Val that keeps slipping back in.
Val, I like Val for different reasons. The biggest of which is that that audio recording session was probably one of my favorite ones I've ever done. But the Viv was my first ever character, and she was a Russian gold digger. Literally, like, if you could sum her up in 2 words, that's what she was. And it got to the point where she was just a very greedy character, to the point where she kind of sold off her humanity for money within, like, the first time we ever played the game.
I know what that's like.
But yeah, that's it. That's my favorite character.
Honestly, I'd have to I could see why, because I feel like that character really, I mean, you didn't know what you were doing when we first got together. You were kind of closed off and really, really quiet. But a couple sessions later, man, you just fucking kicked in the door, big dick swing, and didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite. Well, my favorite. Oh, sorry. One of my favorite moments of it was so by like the 3rd session, she was already a vampire, and Chris made her hideous because it's Chris, and he had a 6th sense of humor, and he still does. So he made her hideous. So what I tried to do is like I had her scalp a security guard and start wearing the person's head, their scalp with like zip ties, and that was like my session 3.
Did you try stapling it too?
Oh, I tried to staple like parts of their face because some of my flesh was like coming off. Yeah. Oh, it was atrocious.
Oh wait, was this the one that was changed by a Nosferatu?
Yeah. So that was my favorite character, or one of them. I have a lot. I mean, there's a bunch. Another one's Leo. For that one session, Lenny. The Moth.
Oh my god, that one. Yeah, that was good.
I guess
really good.
I played a Moth in Starfinder, but basically, whenever I try to make a character, I try to base it off like certain things that I really enjoy, like the little quirks that you see in games. Not really the main characters, but all like the side characters. Like, Juro, we've been talking about this like a week ago, where it was like,
You talk about so much.
Yeah, I know, but like, I feel like I talk to you for like 2 hours every day. But like, you know, like beautiful female characters with really low voices. It's like a trait.
What are you up to, honey?
What am I supposed to do with my hands?
Come on over here, give Dr. Girlfriend this.
I don't know. It's like that to me is like what I have very like core features, or like the little gimmicky characters. I don't know, but that's what I think goes into like a character I like to play, or some of my best stuff. Did I answer the question on my end? I think it did. Why don't we go to someone else?
You want to take a turn?
Sure. I am a perpetual DM, so I've only ever played 2 characters ever, and one of them that I played I was really fond was Brom Belmont, 92 years old and still got it. It's fucking very old Belmont. That was one of my favorite ones. He was pissed off and grumpy. and then probably the art for the Genesis game that I ran for Lenny and Lynn. I don't know what about it is. I hate country music. I hate Western movies, besides Tombstone, which is absolutely the best movie ever. But for some reason, the Arbiter just, like, Lenny kicked in that door to see the Arbiter. And just the sound of Lenny coming in, and it's like, well, Judge Draven, as I live and breathe, what brings you to my office today? Like, I fucking, like, that just blows my mind. Like, that character is so fucking great. I don't know. He's gritty. He gets the job done. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. And it allows me to kind of play out a less cerebral character that's more concerned with the mission, and it allows me to interact with the player characters better than I would as a storyteller. So that's probably my favorite character. What do you got, Lennifer?
I'm stuck between two. I honestly think Judge Draven right now is probably one of my top contenders, but the other one that's probably my favorite, and I'm so pissed we didn't get this recorded, was when Jill, Dyer, and we played D&D. Dyer had this whole campaign planned out. I played a half-orc barbarian named Erlak the Glutton. And this particular orc was ruled by his stomach. And probably the best moment of that session was Dyer set up this paladin, long flowing blonde hair, purple armor, giant hulking mass of a knight. And I picked up on something that when he was describing the character, that he didn't wear a helmet because he was so overconfident in his battle abilities. So a bunch of shit ensued, and I rolled a string check on trying to rip off the bar. Jill and I got in prison, so I ended up ripping the cell door right off of the hinges on a string check because I rolled, I think it was like a 23 or something like that. More shit ensued, and then sure enough, this paladin comes lumbering in. He tells me to square up. Sure enough, I do. He's got a sword. I got nothing because I'm unarmed. And next thing I know, I remembered that he didn't have a helmet on, so I went to headbutt him, rolled a nat 20, and gave the guy a big old concussion. But Erlak was probably my favorite, just because it was a lot of fun playing a dumb character. And not to mention the fact that he is ruled by his stomach. I don't know. It was fun playing D&D with them, or with Dyer, I should say. And even the session that Nick, you were there for. I wish Boomer was there. In the recordings too.
There's a recording of it somewhere. I have it.
Is there? No, all right.
Actually, in my house right now. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. But Judge Draven, I'm really excited to explore him more. Just because I approve of Frank Castle's methods. Especially in, season 1 in the prison. That was a good time. Yeah, Sona, you know what's up. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where the story goes after Session 0. I really cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna go places. You just have to. Man, tomorrow's gonna be cool for Nick's part of it. I'm excited for that. We're making strides. Nick's got his part tomorrow, and all you just need Chris, and then you can play again.
Are there any more questions?
Yeah. Last time you guys did Botch Talk, I believe Nick said he had picked up Changeling the Dreaming. I was wondering his thoughts. If
you fucking
you've
would,
done
Gaz.
any reading on it between now and then and now.
So, no. Not to be mean about it, but no, I haven't. Basically, what's happened between then and now, like I said, just with everything else going on, it's been very difficult. Like I all my reading, like to give you an idea of how much time this stuff takes. Like after I come home from my job, I'm up working till this stuff till like at least midnight when we're during a project. So like literally, I have no other time to kind of do anything while like we have something in the queue. So unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to read on it. Even in Genesis, I try to read as much as I can, but again, it's one of those things where time's just a very big factor right now. But I look forward to it.
All right.
Have you been reading it?
I have not, because it seems that every time I start reading something, I immediately get handed something else to read.
What a life you live with stuff to read.
But have you been reading to Genesis?
I read a bit of it, and then I took a break from it, and I'm still on that break.
It's very good.
Still on that break.
To be honest, I picked up a D&D book and started reading that, so I'm kind of contributing to the problem.
What book?
Cityscapes for 3.5.
Nice.
What would each of you say is the hardest aspect of getting into DMing for a session as opposed to playing? Because I've personally been asked by Jura if I would run Call of Cthulhu, since it's my wheelhouse. But it's also something I've been amazingly... It's a little past nervous about doing.
So, my advice on that is the biggest challenge of it is getting out of your own head that you can't do it. You know, having any sort of like, it's kind of like playing an instrument, you know, like if you play an instrument by yourself in a room, that's cool. You can play with a band, that's cool. The moment you go on stage, you have to play in front of other people, you know, that's the nervous. That's when you freeze up because you get inside your own head. You can do it, you know. And the thing is, if someone has a disgruntlement about the way you do something, there won't be. You know, you know what I mean? Like, even if they decide to, like, get iffy about a rule or something like that, that doesn't matter. Because you're the DM.
I'd say that the biggest hurdle for a new storyteller is in my opinion, is a lot of times they think they have to know the rules better than the people around them. And so the one thing that the TCU has taught me is that I don't necessarily know the rules better than, like, you know, Penny when it comes to mages, or, you know, Nick when it comes to changelings. But what I can do is manipulate the story in such a way that it doesn't fucking matter what rules you know. Because at the end of the day, if you stress narrative, then the rules come second. And especially with Call of Cthulhu, if you as a new storyteller find that the narrative works better by denying the existence of a specific rule, so long as it isn't intrinsic, like not rolling for sanity or something like that, you might as well just go with it. Like, it becomes cumbersome when you consider rules first. Because if you're going to play rules first, you might as well play a video game. Because it does all the rules first for you. So just, you know, relax, take it in stride. Remember that it's your story and you're telling it. And meet the players on a level playing field. You have to treat it like it's a fair fight. It's a cooperation, but at the end of the day, it's a fair fight. And they come at you with the tools that they brought to the table, but at the end of the day, their tools are finite, and your imagination is infinite because you're telling the story, and they're coming to you for that movie, for that cinematic experience. And all you need to do is just spit it out. That's all. It's very simple. There's no, are you a good DM? Are you a bad DM? Some people, you know, think Chris is a really good DM. Some think I'm a good DM. You know, some people think I'm a shitty DM. It's all preference. It's just, you know, what you are. And if you find people that don't want to play with you and say you're a bad DM, don't take it personally. Just find other people. You probably don't want to play with those people anyway. You know what I mean? So just you put the pussy on a pedestal, and you and just don't worry so much about it, guys. Like it's really the best way to, you know, it's really easy once you do it. Or kill them all off. Session 1, first scene. That's what I do. Have Nick play your intergalactic monster. Also what I do.
Yeah, I remember that.
Have Lenny play Judge Dredd.
Has Lenny ever DM'd for anything? I haven't heard about that.
Nope.
Lenny! Hey, Lenny!
To answer your question, guys, no, I have not.
Do you wanna? Do
Eventually.
you wanna run a session?
That worked
Would
out
be
way
fucking
too well.
great if you did. Take some pressure off your jerk. You know, the guy who's got a kid. Come on, Lenny!
But it's Sloth. He's self-sufficient.
No, he's not.
I
Sloth
for one,
requires so much attention.
More than me?
Yes!
Oh shit! I better step up my game.
Sloth burns the house down, pouring milk into cereal.
I for one want to play in Lenny World. I would like to experience this.
Yep. All right, we ready to wrap it up?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming out. It was fun. If you have any additional questions for us, please just leave them in the administration and we'll get to you. But with that being said, thank you for all attending. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
Good
Thank
night.
you, guys.
Thanks
Good all.
Thanks for
Good
the
night.
talk.
Wait, no, wait.
Good night.
Thank you.